I'm going to read to you, okay? This is a transcript from Laura Trump in this interview from America's Voice last night, okay? So I'm reading you a transcript. This is huge. Listen carefully to this. And I got to tell you, those watching on YouTube, you're going to want to share this video with everyone on your social media list of friends on Facebook, Parler, Twitter, whatever you got, because this is huge. And this is, you're going to hear this first here. Laura Trump brought it up last night, but I'm breaking it beyond that. This is Laura Trump, and this is all a quote of hers. Okay? The reality is, the founders of this country set up a process for a time such as this. So what will happen on January 6th is a joint session of Congress, and all of the electoral votes have now been sent to Washington, D.C. They will be opened by Vice President Mike Pence and read aloud for the joint session of Congress. And if 2 House members object to the vote for Biden, just 2, then everybody takes a break. I'm sorry, if 2 congressional members meet up, 1 senator and 1 House member, everybody takes a break. So you need 1 senator, 1 House member. We got it, right? We've had Mo Brooks. A lot of other House members want to be on board with that. And then yesterday, sitting United States Senator Josh Hawley came out and said he is going to back it up. So we've got the senator. So this is no longer what might happen. That part will happen. So what's new here, what's breaking news, what is massive, is details on what happens at this point. Okay? They will split up. The Senate and the House will divide. This is Laura Trump. They go debate. And then ultimately have to vote to decide the outcome of the election. Now, this is what the mainstream media, when they've bothered to reference this huge event, and what Democrats have said, oh, they get the debate for 2 hours. Well, maybe it'll be longer, maybe it'll be 2 hours, but what happens next, it's going to get good. Listen, they go debate, then ultimately have to vote to decide the outcome of this election. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. This is Laura Trump talking yesterday, senior advisor to the president. Each senator gets 1 vote. Now, we know we've been talking about what we've just been talking about, how important it is to hold a majority in the Senate. But we do, right now, have the majority in the Senate. And don't forget, the vice president also counts as a Senate vote, right, if there's a tie. And then, now this is the big part. This is the big part. And then as far as the House is concerned, now this again is Wednesday for the challenge. As far as the House is concerned, it is each delegation. So that doesn't mean each House member gets a vote. It's each delegation. So each state ultimately gets a vote, 1 vote. That's right. That's right. The Republicans are in control of 30 state delegations where we hold the majority. The Democrats only have 20. So if it comes down to a vote and the Republicans in the House and the Senate decide, we know where it goes. So this is interesting stuff, because what we've been fed by the mainstream media, what we've been fed by the left, what we've been fed by the Democrats has been entirely wrong, according to the Trump team here, who are getting advised by probably Mark Levin and other incredible conservative minds, but he's the best. That at this point, we knew when the presidency went to the House, it's each state delegation, but we didn't know it was at this point. So and this is the new Congress coming in. There's a new Congress coming in. We gained House seats. So we gained delegations. We have 10 more delegations than the Democrats next Wednesday in the House of Representatives. If that's the way it plays out, we win. Not only do we win big. It's a massive landslide. I know. It's like, what? What did he say? I can't believe. I know. This is exciting stuff. You know, President Trump, believe me, he could have flown out tomorrow after the party. He could have got on a plane at 1, 2 a.m. after New Year's. He could have got on a plane Friday morning. but he's taking Air Force One back to Washington, D.C. today to deal with this right here and right now. This is massive news. Massive news, people. And the way that I've been saying this since the first week after. In fact, I was talking about this before the election because of some things Pelosi had said. But I've been talking about what the Trump plan was just after the election had passed by a couple of days. And others, including the great Alan Dershowitz on Newsmax TV, has even said this, and others, and Dick Morris and others during this crisis time we've been in since Election Day, that President Trump, that his plan was to push this into the House because we have the majority of the delegations. But I did not even know that the electoral vote challenge, that vote is done by delegation. This is new information to me and probably to most of you. This is why yesterday, when the Josh Hawley announcement was out there, I broke my ban on CNN. I went over to CNN. I saw Jake Tapper. I haven't seen Jake Tapper in a while. He didn't look too happy. They were in a meltdown over there on CNN. They were having a meltdown about Josh Hawley. Now we know. So, we very well could find out Wednesday that it's over and that the president, Donald Trump, is going to be inaugurated on January 20th. This is huge. Now we know why Kamala hasn't resigned that Senate seat. She doesn't want to be out of work, and she's afraid, right? Well, we have confirmation of what we've suspected. All right, I want to hear your thoughts on this. This is a massive story from Laura Trump. And, man, woke me up this morning. I was so excited when I saw this. I woke up, it was one of the first things I saw because it's at the Gateway Pundit. And the Gateway Pundit is my first stop for news in the mornings. First stop is thegatewaypundit.com. And it's there right now. I did tweet it. It's my most recent tweet, but I tweeted it last after all my other stuff because I wanted it at the top of my Twitter feed this morning. Brian Craig Show on the Twitter. All right. I'm going to take our first break of our last show of the year. Tomorrow will be a best of show. But I will live stream tomorrow on our day off. I will live stream on YouTube at some point. So if you don't already subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the notification bell, and I'll give you whatever updates are going on. But we're going to take our first break of the day. When we get back, I'll go to the phones, and I want to hear your thoughts on all of this. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. I will recap this throughout the show because this is huge news. Huge news. Even though most